Eli's thumb hovered over the voice message. 47 seconds. He poured everything into it. The fear, the desperation, the truth he couldn't tell anyone else. He hit send. 3 seconds later, his heart stopped. Wrong number. The message wasn't going to his friend Marcus. It went to someone else. Someone whose name also started with M. Someone Eli had never met. Someone who now knew everything. Before I tell you what happened next, and trust me, you won't see this coming, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. This story gets darker than you think, and I want to know who's brave enough to stay till the end. Let me take you back 6 hours. Eli Washington was 26 years old, working 2 jobs, morning shift at a warehouse, night shift driving for a delivery app. He wasn't proud of what he was about to tell Marcus, but he was desperate. His mother's medication cost $340 this month. Rent was due in 3 days, and his bank account had $87. He'd made a decision, a bad one, the kind that keeps you up at night even before you do it. In that voice message to Marcus, Eli confessed everything. How he'd taken money from the warehouse. Not a lot. $500 from the petty cash no one checked. How he planned to return it with his next paycheck. How he just needed Marcus to say it would be okay. To tell him he wasn't a bad person. To tell him he wasn't his father. But the message didn't go to Marcus. It went to Michael Carver, a name Eli vaguely recognized from a work email thread 3 months ago. Someone from corporate. Someone important. Someone who could destroy his life with one phone call to HR. Eli stared at the screen. The check marks were blue. Delivered. Read. For 3 hours, nothing. Eli couldn't unsend it. Couldn't delete it. Couldn't take back 47 seconds of raw, desperate truth sent to a stranger who held his entire future in his hands. He thought about running. About quitting before they fired him. About whether his mother would understand why they'd be evicted. About whether this was who he really was, a thief just like his father. Then, at 2:47 a.m., his phone buzzed. Eli's hands shook so hard he almost dropped the phone. Michael Carver had sent a voice message back. 83 seconds. Longer than his confession. This was it. The end. The call to security. The police. His mother finding out. Everyone finding out. He pressed play. Michael's voice calm. Measured. Not angry. Annie. I'm assuming you didn't mean to send that to me. But you did. So now we both have a problem. You took money that isn't yours. That's theft. Clear, simple, prosecutable theft. I should call security right now. I should call the police. That's what the rules say. That's what the law says. Eli's throat closed. This was it. But Michael wasn't done. But here's what I heard in your message. I heard someone afraid. Someone desperate. Someone who knows what he did was wrong. Someone who sounds exactly like I did 22 years ago when I stole $300 from my college bookstore job to pay for my mother's diabetes medication. Eli's breath caught. What? I want you to pause right here and think about something. What would you do if you received that message? Would you show mercy or follow the rules? Drop a comment with your honest answer. No judgment, just truth. And if you're feeling this story, hit that like button. We're about to get to the real test. So here's what's going to happen, Eli. I'm not calling security. I'm not calling the police. I'm not telling anyone. But I am giving you a test. And this test is harder than prison would be. Eli's mind raced. A test? What kind of test? You have 30 days. In those 30 days, you will return every cent you took. But here's the hard part, you're going to document how you do it. Every extra shift. Every sacrifice. Every time you choose to do the right thing when no one's watching, you're going to send me voice messages. Real ones. Raw ones. The truth. I want to know when you're tempted to quit. When you want to take the easy way out. When you think about running. And Eli, I'll know if you're lying. I spent 22 years learning to read people. Try to game this and I make one phone call. But here's the thing most people don't understand about second chances. They're not about the mistake. They're about what you do after. They're about who you choose to become when you think no one's looking. But I am looking, Eli. For 30 days, I'm going to be watching everything. The clock starts now. For 20 days, Eli worked. Triple shifts. No days off. He sent Michael voice messages every 3 days. Some were hopeful. Most were honest. A few were dark. Day 8. I'm so tired I can barely think. But I earned $87 today. $413 more to go. Day 14. My mother asked why I look sick. I lied and said I'm fine. That's lie number 1247 since this started. But at least this time I'm lying to protect her, not myself. $235 more to go. Day 20. This was the breaking point. Marcus had sent him money. $500. Exactly what he needed. For your mom. Bro, don't argue. Eli sat in his car at 2 a.m., staring at that notification. He could take it. Use it. Return the stolen money. Tell Michael he'd earned it. No one would know. The test would be over. He recorded a voice message to Michael. His finger hovered over send for 5 full minutes. Then he pressed play one more time to listen to what he'd said. Marcus sent me the money. All of it. I could use it. You'd never know. But I'd know. And that's the whole point, isn't it? The test isn't whether I can fool you. It's whether I can stop fooling myself. I sent the money back to Marcus. Told him I'd explain later. I have $428. I need $72 more. I'll get it the way I should have from the start, by earning it. Thank you for not giving me an easy way out. Thank you for making me face who I really am. 10 more days. Day 28. 2 days early. Eli had the money. All $500. Earned. Not borrowed. Not stolen. Earned through sweat and sacrifice and choosing the hard right over the easy wrong. He sent his final voice message to Michael. I have the money. I'm returning it today before my shift. But I need to tell you something. This was never about the $500. You knew that from the start, didn't you? 28 days ago, I made a mistake because I thought I had no choice. You showed me I did have a choice. Every single day I had a choice. The money was just the excuse. The fear was just the excuse. I was the problem. And I was also the solution. I'm not the same person who sent you that first message. I didn't become someone new. I became someone better. Someone I forgot I could be. Thank you for seeing past who I was and believing in who I could become. I hope I earned that belief. Michael's response came 3 hours later. Just 22 seconds. You earned more than my belief, Eli. You earned your own respect. That's the only thing that really matters. The test is over. You passed. But more importantly, you're free. P.S. Check your work email. The email wasn't a reward. It was a chance. An interview for shift supervisor. A position Eli would still have to earn. But now he knew he could. Now he knew who he was when no one was watching. Because someone had watched. And instead of destroying him, they had rebuilt him. This story isn't about a voice note sent to the wrong person. It's about what happens when someone sees your worst moment and chooses to believe in your best future. It's about the difference between punishment and transformation, between judgment and mercy, between giving up on people and giving them a reason to fight. Michael could have destroyed Eli with one phone call. Instead, he gave him something harder: responsibility, accountability, a chance to become who he was meant to be. And Eli could have taken the easy way out, could have lied, could have run. Instead, he chose the brutal honesty of facing himself every single day for 30 days. Here's what most people miss about second chances. They're not about forgetting the first chance. They're about remembering it so clearly that you never waste another one. Power isn't about having control over someone. It's about using that control to help them control themselves. So here's my question for you. What's the one mistake you made that you wish someone had handled the way Michael handled Eli? What's the moment you needed mercy instead of judgment? Drop it in the comments. No shame, no judgment. Just honest stories from real people trying to be better. And if this story hit you the way I hope it did, subscribe. Because next week, I'm telling you about the woman who found her husband's suicide note, and what she did with it changed everything. Until then, remember, the person you are when no one's watching is the only person you'll ever truly have to live with. Make sure that person is worth knowing.